Starting with this company, the bionic eye was kind of the spark, which got this AI startup Zalient. It's on a mission to allow computers to see and make sense of and react to the world around them. Co-founder Lars Oleson says the aim is to make things be smart enough to see the world. They're just about to launch a free beta test this week, and Lars joins us now. Great to have you in the studio. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Your product has been called the world's most efficient computer vision. Can you just explain what it is and how it works?
Yeah, sure, of course. So just like you and I try to process the world around us by looking and seeing and making sense of things, what we have is more cameras than we have people to monitor them. So we need software to do that job for us. And artificial intelligence is the natural way to approach that. The problem is there's too many cameras and not enough computers. Mm-hmm. The charge that it takes, the amount of effort that the computers have to put in is really dramatically large. And so my co-founder is a neuroscientist. And he figured out how we did it, and now he's teaching computers to do it.
So give me some use cases. These are things like security or?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, today with what we see now rolling out more cameras, not just to detect bad people, but also potentially good people that maybe should go home. We're seeing more and more cameras get installed. Do we have the skill set and the tools for the person at the front desk watching to send sick people home or to detect things that maybe are risky? And likely not, right? So we need new technology with AI to help us monitor these cameras. But today's AI is just too expensive.
Okay.
Can I ask where this is going to fit in from a privacy point of view? Because, of course, everyone's quite conscious of what goes on in China and the monitoring there using cameras. And there's been an Australian US-based company that's come to the attention of a few people who've been concerned about privacy with law enforcement using it. How do you sort of see this building out to the point where we just know we're going to be monitored and we're going to get pinged for sort of being a bit crook, or how's it going to work?
Well, look, I think I'm glad you asked, because it's really important that we put privacy at the top of the list. Mm-hmm. So one of the advantages of more efficient AI is that you can run it on the camera itself, on board, what in the industry we call the edge. So other than the cloud, where everything is centralized and you've sent all of this data and all this information that's maybe sensitive to a place that hackers can easily get to and maybe lots of employees can access, what you really want to do is you want to run your AI on board the camera itself and make the decision there, is there something important happening? And if not, just delete it. And so with Zalient, we have what we call the privacy filter that allows us to do that work at the edge and send only the subset of information that's important. And that could be encrypted. And so maybe we send the picture, but your face has been removed.
So does this have applications around things like self-driving cars as well? I know they're putting a lot of effort into trying to recognize whether you're about to hit a pedestrian or it's a kangaroo or whatever's going on, and they're struggling at the moment. Is this something where Zalient can really play a part?
Absolutely. So what's going on with self-driving cars and everything in computer vision is the speed is a critical factor, but you pay time exponentially when you want to get accuracy. So every time you need to be more correct, it costs you not just 2 times, but maybe 4 times or 8 times or 16 times more. A typical self-driving car, just for the computation, uses 2 kilowatts of power. That's not the drivetrain, that's just the computers to see. So you can tell right away that this is just not efficient. We have to have a more efficient solution, and that's what Zalient brings to the market.
Wow. So you've just done another round. It's a growth round. You're actually, unlike a lot of startups, is a really tricky time to be raising. But you've been out there at a higher valuation.
Yes.
Has that closed off, or are you?
Yeah, basically, ink is drying, but yeah.
And how did you do that through this pandemic, or was most of that done?
We did, yeah. So we decided just to lean in and focus on growth. So we made some adjustments to make sure we're economizing and being really ruthless with our spending, but we see strong customer demand and didn't want to slow down, so we're pushing harder.
Yeah, cool.
So just quickly, who are your customers? Who are you working with at the moment, and what's the short-term plan for the company?
Yeah, so, I can't give names yet, but one of them is an ASX-listed company, and with them we are doing parasite monitoring at the ag, right? So at the agricultural edge. So that's a really exciting project. Another customer is doing parking automation, so reading the plates as you come and go and making that process seamless. And what both of these customers had in common is they're operating in places where you just can't put computers, right? You're way out in rural areas or you're in basements and things like that. You don't have 4G, you don't have network. You've got to have an IoT device.
And I guess as well, in this time now, people don't want to touch things and whatever. You are going to be able to take a lot of those kind of physical touch points away and deliver some of that capability just with cameras.
Yeah, we're working with several customers right now that are advancing these touchless systems for access control, for customer interaction. For example, walking into your doctor's offices, you don't really want to check in on a touchpad, right? So being able to replace those with systems that use cameras and voice recognition is obviously very timely.
Amazing. All right, thank you so much for coming in to tell us about it.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Lars.
Probably way over my...
Well, remember when the Google specs were going to be the big thing and we were going to recognise everyone? I'm sort of seeing this now. All those times you come up and go, hi mate, it's going to...
That's what my name is.
You're going to save us.
All right,
I'll remember your name, Lars.
We have to take a short break.